Hi, I'm Andrea and welcome to Productive C#. In this video, I'm going to talk about the create type and the move to file refactorings. Let's start from move to file. One of the good practice in C# is to create a class in its own file. In this case, I have program and point both living in the same program.cs file, and that's not good in terms of good practices. So let's move the class point to its own file. ResHarper helps you to do that. If you just go and click on the type you want to move, then press Alt Enter, and then click Move to Point. Press Enter, and point.cs has been created for you. That's it. It's very simple refactoring, but really useful because you don't need to create manually the file and copy and paste the content. But often I do that. First I create a type and then I move it. For example, when I'm doing test-driven development. Let's say, for example, here I want to create a new rectangle from these 2 points. As you can see, I'm creating code that that doesn't compile because this type rectangle doesn't exist yet. But ResHarper helps me to create the type automatically. I press Alt Enter, and then I click Create Type. Automatically ResHarper create a type for me with the constructors, understanding that I need to be passing P1 and P2. I don't need to throw the exception. And let me create the auto properties. And there we go. I've got my type. So I often do this when I'm coding. So I don't want to care about, the location of the class yet, because I'm still in the middle of debugging on coding and writing code and understanding what I want to do. So only when I'm ready and I know that I really need this type, I can just go ahead, click on the type and move it to its own class. So this is a very common way of working that I use very often. So I write a new type inline inside the same file what I'm working on at the moment. I can create 1 or 2 or 3 more classes, and then when I'm ready, I move them out on their own files. So these two refactorings are very useful and they often work together. You first create a type automatically from the code, and then you move the type in its own file, following the best practices of having a single type for each file. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching.